Hi, good morning. Welcome to Chuck and Cook. This morning I've decided to share the recipe with you all, which started this whole crazy idea. The recipe is from this book that I first bought when Louise and I started talking about our slow cookers on a lunchtime. And the very first recipe that I tried was the creamy chicken pasta with sun-dried tomatoes. And as you can see here, I've written on easy. Now what happened, I tried this recipe, we loved it, really nice, and I shared it with Louise, who made it for her husband, and he said it was the best meal he'd ever had. Woo! That's quite a statement. So I'm going to share the recipe with you today. Okay, everything that we need for this recipe is out on my worktop. However, it's the easiest one to get going on a morning because we don't need those until later. First of all, we're going to make the chicken broth, which is a chicken stock cube. I have pre-boiled the kettle. So pop the stock cube in the jug, grab a spoon, and we're making 500 ml of chicken stock. So I'm just using one chicken stock cube. We'll get that going. So giving it a good stir. Make sure that stock cube is all melted down. And then we're popping some salt and pepper into the stock, just a sprinkle, generous sprinkle of salt and pepper. And let's give it a stir. We pour that into the slow cooker. And then we pop some Italian seasoning in. Now it does say in the recipe 15 grams, which seems such a lot because this pot is only 11 grams. So you can see I used half of it. I'm going to bob in the rest of this. Put it all in and recycle the pot. Give that a stir. Now I'm going to chop an onion. I will speed up this part of the video. Okay, and the recipe did say to use a red onion in this recipe. I always tend to use red onions anyway. Pop it into the slow cooker. Next we need to add 3 cloves of garlic. I use the garlic puree, the real thing without the chopping. I just find it cleaner, easier. 1 teaspoon is 1 clove, so I'm going to add in a good squeeze. We want our pasta nice and garlicky. And give that a bit of a stir. And lastly, we're going to add the chicken. 500 grams of diced chicken. Straight into the slow cooker, chuck it in, job done. And that's it. That's all you need to do at this point in the day. The recipe says to cook on high for 3 hours. I'm going to be out for 9 hours, so pop the lid on and turn it on to low. And we'll come back after work and add all of the extra bits in, which take about 40 minutes to finish this recipe. But at least you're not having to do it before work. I think it's the easiest start ever. Luckily, you don't have to wait 9 hours. Okay, back, right. It was so nice walking into the house after work and smelling this lovely garlic smell. Let's have a look what's happening in the slow cooker. It has been 9 hours. Right, let's give it a stir. Okay, separate the chicken a little bit. can't tell you how lovely the smell is. I know it doesn't look that amazing just yet, but it smells yummy. So we need to add 140 grams of sun-dried tomatoes and the oil. So it's around, most of this jar is going to go in because I used it last time I made this. So I think I'm just going to put it all in. Give that another stir. And then we're going to add the pasta. So we need 250 grams of pasta. So that's half of this packet. And you may think that sauce looked really watery, but because the pasta's going in, you can imagine what's going to happen. Give that a bit of a stir, and we're going to turn it on to high. It has been on low all day, so now's the time to turn it up. On to high, leave it for 25 minutes, so I'm going to get changed, have a coffee and come back and check in about 25 minutes. Okay, let's see how we've been getting on. Honestly, it's been about 30 minutes since we last saw the pasta. I did get all wrapped up in answering comments on the channel, which I love doing. Thank you so much if you comment. Thank you if you subscribe and like. It is really much appreciated. Okay, let's see after 30 minutes. How are we doing? I can see that some of the pasta is cooked more than others. Let's have a little taste to check, because that looks a little bit brown. We'll see. Yes, that is a little bit undercooked. So I'm going to leave it on a bit longer, give it a stir, make sure that the uncooked portions are towards the bottom to try and give it a better chance. The majority of it is cooked. It was just those edgy bits that seem to be a bit raw. Okay, let's give it another stir. Yeah, that's looking better. Okay, so the last bit of the recipe is to add cream cheese and parmesan. The recipe says 220 grams, and I have a note on saying to add less than that. This is a 300 gram tub. So when I did it the first time, I thought it was too much cream cheese. I'm going to put in, I better get a clean spoon. I'm going to put in half the tub, which will be around about 150 grams rather than 220. I'll stir that in. So as you can imagine, it ends up being a very creamy pasta with hardly any sauce. The pasta has soaked up all of that liquid that we saw when I got home from work. It smells amazing. So I'm giving it a really good stir. Make sure that pasta is all fully covered. Whoops. Sorry if I wobble the camera while I do this. And now we add the parmesan, 50 grams. I've got a grated Parmigiano Reggiano, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Sorry to all of my Italian friends. It is Parmesan. 50 grams, so this one is 100 grams, so the rest of this packet is going to go in. I'm just going to leave a little bit in the packet just to sprinkle on the top. Stir that in as well. Is this making your tummies rumble? I can't wait. I've got the oven on, cooking a slab of garlic bread, and we're going to have this with some green salad as well. Absolutely delicious. Hooray, it's finally ready to serve. I'm going to warm up the plates and get a portion ready. Okay, got my plate ready. Take the lid off. Let's get a portion. I really do implore you to make this. Have a go at this. I'm sure you'll like it. Do let me know in the comments below. No judging on this one. I know it's a chuck and cook. It's absolutely delicious. It's creamy, it's garlicky, there's big chunks of chicken, there's a lovely tomatoey taste with those sun-dried tomatoes. Perfect, perfect pasta. Have a go, let me know what you think. Can't stop eating it. Sorry for speaking with my mouth full. How rude.